Hi, welcome to this course on Python, and in this video we shall be learning about data types, operators and operands. Now let's get started with data types. What exactly are data types? It's a very simple English term. Data types basically means what type of data do we have. Only when we understand the type of data that makes our life easier to interpret it, to use it. Talking about data types, it is broadly classified or divided into five different categories. One of them is numeric, which basically holds numbers. We have dictionaries, which holds in the form of key and value pair. For example, you have customer ID and the customer name. Customer ID is unique in nature, so they are stored as a keys, and the names are stored as values. We have dictionaries. Then we have Boolean data types, true or false. We have set data types. We have sequence types. Now, talking about numeric type, it is further classified or divided into three different categories. One of them is integer, one of them is float, and one of them is complex number. Now, what are sequence types? That means they store values, they store records in sequence. Like string is a sequence type, it's a sequence of characters. Multiple characters combine together to form a string variable, like hello world, like hello. Hello has five characters Hello. So strings, zeroth index will have H, first index will have E, and it goes on LLO. We also have tuples and lists, which are also termed as sequence types. Variables hold values of different data types. With the help of type function, you can check the type of variable used. After that, we'll also be studying about operators and operands. Special symbols that represent computations like addition and multiplication. What are operators? Well, operand is nothing but a quantity to which an operator is applied. What are operators? Your plus, minus, division, multiplication, double star, which is termed as exponential value. All these are your operators. And operands is nothing but a quantity to which an operator is applied. What will be the order of precedence, the order of usage? I hope everybody knows about BODMAS. BODMAS. We have already studied this concept way back in our school days. BODMAS is nothing but brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And that is the sequence how mathematical operations happen. Now, in case of Python, the order of precedence is PEMD. It's also very similar to BODMAS. We'll start with data types. Now here we have defined name equals to Mike and I'm printing the name. If I run this, it is printing me Mike. We already know that name is a variable. This is a assignment operation and we are assigning the value Mike to name. Automatically, if you try to print the type of name, it will definitely give you string type because it automatically understands that this is nothing but a string type. Let's say I'm doing name equals to input of enter your name. What is input operation in Python? If you look at it, input operation, the Python programming language provides input function to take input into a program from console. That means if I run this, it will be asking you enter your name. Whatever value you pass, that goes as an entry, that goes as a number, that goes as a value to name. Let's say I type my name as Satyajit Patnaik. Once I click on enter, this value goes to name and I'm printing welcome name. If I run this, you can see welcome this. If you want to check what is this name, just print it. It will give you that name is nothing but my name. What is the type of this one? Super simple. The type is going to be string type. Here I have defined A, which is true, and B, which is again true. But the difference here is the first one is a boolean and the second one is a string variable. If I run this and then I run print type of A and print type of B, you can see the first one I'm getting boolean and the second one I'm getting string. What do you mean by typecasting? What is typecasting? Most likely in Python, there are certain scenarios, there are certain cases where you have to change the type of your data. For an example, one good example is, let's say you are storing scores, okay, like percentage score or else accuracy. Your model's accuracy is 91.2%. What if somebody asks you, can you print me this value 91.2 in integer format? How can we do that? Here we have to convert the float variable to integer. Let's say I define accuracy equals to 91.2. Now if I print accuracy and if I print the type of accuracy, both will return, like this one will be 91.2 and the second one will be float. What if I want the value in integer format? Simply what we can do is int of ACC. If I do this, I am getting the integer value. The only problem in such cases will be there will be certain scenarios where there will be data loss. Here the original value is 91.4 but the integer value is 91. So we are losing 0.2. So whenever we perform typecasting, perform it wisely. Now here I have defined my variable as 2. Type of var is integer, of course. Let's say I want to convert this into float. I'm defining another variable var1 equals to float of variable. So I'm calling the float operation and then I'm passing my integer variable here. If I type it, my var1 is float. If I type the var1, it shows me 2.0, which is the float version of 2. Simple. Here I'm doing the same operation. I have var equals to 2.9. I'm creating a new variable called as var underscore int and I'm calling int of var print var int. Here you can see the float value is 2.9 but the integer value is 2. So there is a huge data loss, right? Similarly, integer to string is also possible. You just call your integer variable and then create another variable where you are passing string of var. This becomes a string object now. If you see, the type of new var is going to be string. Simple. Can we convert a string to integer? Well, like this, yes, can be converted. But let's say I have a variable var new equals to something like this 2.5. Can we convert this into integer? Let me run this. Let's say I have defined this. Let's say we'll define a simple integer value inside a string variable. Let's say var1. What is var1? Sorry, var new. It's a string object. Very simple. Now if I have to convert this into int, I will simply call int done. Now this is my integer value. But what if this is 2.5? Now my type is string. I'm doing int of var new. You can see it is failing. Invalid literal for int with base 10. So it is not able to do. How can we solve this? The solution to this will be first convert, because inside quotes it's a float number. So convert that into float first, like this. And then convert it into integer, like this. Int of this. And then it works. Simple. So I have showed the same example here. Convert a float value inside a string variable to integer and then it fails. And here we are doing int of float of this. So it all happens from the parenthesis. The inner parenthesis is executed first. It creates the float operation. This output is going to be 2.5, and then it is converting int of 2.5, which is 2, right? Here I'm defining a string variable equals to 2.5. I'm doing integer of this, so this is the same activity, right? So these are the various operations and these are the various basic concepts about data types. Of course, we will be learning more about various data structures in the upcoming classes. We will be learning in depth about lists, tuples, uh, dictionaries, sets, a lot of them. String to integer for float number. Let's say I have defined a string variable abcdefgh, another string variable helo. How to access string objects? Just imagine whenever you are defining a string object, let's say HELLO, your first index H is always 0th index. Your E is always first index. Your L will be second index, another L will be third index, and O will be fourth index. Okay, so if you define this hello, now let's say you want the first character, you simply can do this of 0, it will give you H. If you want the fourth index of 4, it give you 0, sorry, O. If you do 5, it will throw you an error because it does not exist, right? Index out of range. What will be -1? -1 is O. So what happens is when you move forward direction, it starts from 0th index, then first index, second, third, fourth. If you move from the right side, the indexing starts from -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So this is also called as minus first index, -2, -3, -4, and -5. If you want to check it, you can do -5 is H and 0 is also H. Okay. And on a very similar fashion, list, tuples, dictionaries also work. Now just imagine my string of 0 is H. You want to change this hello to, let's say, yellow, something like that. You want to change H to Y. Is it possible? Can we just assign it like this? No, this is not possible. String object does not support item assignment. The reason here is string objects are immutable in nature. Similar to string objects, we also have some other data structures which we will be studying, like tuples. Tuples are also immutable in nature. There are other data structures like list and other data structures which are mutable in nature. You can change the attributes. You can access the elements and you can change it. But in string, it is not possible. Okay. Going forward, yeah, we have the same things. Here we are printing the string variable, printing the 2. It's not possible to assign it. But just imagine this way. I have a string variable string1 equals to hello. And you want to change it to yellow. We know that we can access the element, but we cannot change it, right? So how can we change it? In case we want to change it by hook or crook, by any means we want to change it. How can we change it? The only option is to reassign values. So what happens is we will recreate the variable and then assign fully like this. This works. Now if you print string1, it becomes yellow. Okay, so this is possible, but you cannot access the elements and change it. In this case, what is happening is there are a lot of concepts which you will understand in future. Here we are destroying the variable and then recreating it. So a new memory allocation is happening here. Okay, so that's all about the basics of data types. Let's try to jump into arithmetic operations. Again, these are some things which are going to be super simple to understand, as these are the initial few classes of Python. And slowly, once we move ahead, the complexity will increase. Here we will be studying the basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, exponentiation. All these things we will learn. Okay, simple. I have defined a equals to 10, b equals to 2. What will be a plus b? It will be 12. What will be a minus b? It will be 8. What will be a multiplied with b? It will be 20. What will be a divided by b? It will be 5. You can see this thing. All the operations is getting integer values. I have defined integer. I'm getting output as integer. But only division operation I'm getting float, because automatically it converts the integer into float in the division operation. Let's say I define these numbers as float. You can see my arithmetic operation is returning me float. This is returning me float, float, float. Okay. All these things you can try it out by yourself. Now, after division, I will also talk about slash slash b. Slash slash b is nothing but, I have already explained here, slash slash b, like slash slash, is nothing but floor division. What does that mean? That means, let's say you are doing 31 divided by 6, which is 5 point something, right? What is the floor value of 5 point something? The floor value is going to be 5. What will be the ceiling value of 5 point something? The ceiling value is going to be 6. I hope everybody knows about a house structure. Floor is the bottom one and ceiling is the roof one, right? And whenever you have a number between, let's say 5 to 6 or 10 to 11, 10.5, the floor of 10.5 will be 10, the lower value. So slash slash is nothing but floor division. Okay, and that is the reason here my floor division is also coming as 5. What is modulus? I also have modulus operation here. A percentage b, I will do a percentage b, and modulus is 0. What is modulus? It is remainder. What is star star? It is something to the power of something. If you define a as 3 and b as 4, it is nothing but 3 to the power of 4, which is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, which is nothing but 81. Okay. Similarly, all these are various operations, very simple concepts. Modulus operation, which is remainder operation. Now, let's try to solve this problem. I have anyhow showed you the answer, but just try to be honest and try to solve it. Let me just, okay, this is the question. Print brackets 4 star 5 brackets minus 9 plus 6 by 7 brackets. So try to use the concept which we have already studied, which is PEMDAS. It all starts with parenthesis. So the first operation will happen which is inside a parenthesis, and then all those other operations like exponentiation, multiplication, division, and so on. Just try to pause this video and try to solve this, and after that I will explain you how to get the answer for this one. Well, the answer for this one will be, the first one will be, you can see this is the equation. The first part will be parenthesis, PEMDAS parenthesis. So this will be 20 minus 9 plus 6 by 7. Let me just solve it line by line. First will be this one, which will be 20. Second will be this one, which will be 6 by 7 is around 0.8. Okay. And the next step will be 20 minus 9, which is 11, plus 0.8, which will be 11.88. something like that. Now if I print this, my answer is 11.8, right? This is how you solve a arithmetic operation. Well, you can easily do print operation and get your outputs, but it's just for practice. Similarly, I also have another case studies like this one. Print 4 percentage 1 plus 9 star star 2. So if I have to solve this, the first thing will be this one, 9 plus 1, which is 10, 7 plus 2 equals to 9. The second one will be PE, exponentiation. So 10 to the power of 2, which will be 100. And then 60 slash slash 9, which will be 6. So this will be 6. And then 100, 4 percentage 100, which will be 4 minus 6 minus 2. The answer is minus 2, right? Something like that. 4 minus 6, and then the final answer will be minus 2. Okay, so our solution and Python are returning the same outputs. So that's all about arithmetic operations. I hope you understood the basics of operations, operators, operands, and the basics of data types. In the next class, we shall be talking more about data structures, and we will deep dive into various data structures like lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. Till then, bye bye.